ABC 36 News at 11 starts right now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Anna Medina in for Paxton Boyd tonight. We begin with a look at that weekend forecast. Cold temps are expected, so don't put those coats away just yet. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist T.G. Shuck for the latest.
Yeah, Anna, it's a case of where we're playing a little catch-up. Didn't have a lot of winter at all in January or February. Our average highs are now up into the mid-50s, but it didn't feel like it today with that low cloud cover. And notice a few little returns on the radar here. Light shower sprinkle, even had some reports here in the metro of a few light snow flurries. Of course, with temperatures even above freezing, but into the 30s, that can occur, especially with the type of setup we have out there tonight with that low-level moisture. Bluegrass Pace Care, Skyview HD Camera Network, our Hicks and Funston Cam, checking out Hamburg. East side of Lexington, we're at 38. Temperatures haven't moved very much at all, of course, with that low cloud cover. Winds out of the northwest, they'll stay up about 10 to 15 overnight, and you see those temps into the 30s. We are headed toward the freezing mark and even below that early tomorrow. Think we'll at least see a mix of clouds and sunshine tomorrow afternoon. That'll push us back into the upper 40s, still below average. The key tomorrow, though, a dry day. That probably will not be the case, especially on Sunday morning. More on that in your 7-day here in just a few.
The family of a former ABC 36 chief meteorologist who was killed in a helicopter crash last year in North Carolina has filed a wrongful death lawsuit. As the Richmond Times-Dispatch reports, Jason Myers' widow is suing a maintenance facility and the companies that owned and operated the helicopter. The report says the lawsuit alleges negligence and claims the helicopter was running on contaminated fuel, which could lead to engine failure. Myers and pilot Chip Tayag were killed in November when their helicopter crashed while the two were on assignment for WBTV in Charlotte. Myers worked here at ABC 36 from 2013 until 2019. Now to South Central Kentucky, where an investigation continues after a deadly ATV rollover crash in Whitley County. The Sheriff's Department says it happened last night on Chestnut Road. Deputies say 2 people were thrown from the ATV in the crash. The Sheriff's Department says the 2 were taken to a hospital where one of the riders later died. 2 people accused of using stolen checks and credit cards are now facing charges here in Lexington. Police say 28-year-old Willie Johnson and 19-year-old Tajane Bailey were arrested yesterday during a traffic stop on Reading Road. Investigators say the car they were in matched the description of a vehicle used to commit bank fraud with forged or stolen checks and IDs earlier this week. Police say they found a large luggage bag in the trunk with 18 state-issued ID cards, 6 checks or checkbooks, and 27 credit cards that did not belong to the pair. The 2 are now charged with trafficking and stolen identities. Now to Frankfort, where the Senate passed a bill that would ultimately ban drag performances in the state. Senate Bill 115 aims to prevent children from being exposed to sexually explicit adult performances, including performances involving male or female impersonators. The bill would cause many businesses and events where drag performances take place, like bars and restaurants, or even the Lexington Pride Festival, to either ban the performances or to relocate. Members of the LGBTQ+ community have been in strong opposition to this legislation, continuously rallying at the Capitol, advocating to allow drag performances in public spaces.
One has to wonder then if this bill is truly about regulating adult-oriented businesses or about sending a message to our LGBTQ community that the General Assembly of Kentucky does not support you.
Opposition to 115 have called this legislation hateful. I would ask, what is hateful about keeping children away from sexualized adult performances?
The bill passed 26-6 and now heads to the House for consideration. Now to your Solid Blue report. The Kentucky Wildcats are currently taking on Vanderbilt at Bridgestone Arena in the SEC tournament in Nashville. ABC 36's Paxton Boyd talked to some UK fans who expressed their passion being Cats fans.
Well, the Cats finally taking the court on day 3 of the SEC tournament, and Big Blue Nation making their presence felt here in the Music City. I was able to catch up with a few fans earlier today who have made a yearly tradition out of making their way to the SEC tournament, especially when it's in Nashville.
invite this chick with me. It was down here in Nashville in 2013. Yeah. 13, and it just, we tore up the streets of Nashville with all of our blue on. We danced at every bar. Every single place had drinks bought for us just because we showed up like this.
We flew up here. We even had to get off the plane and board a different plane because our plane had failure. We were like, we are going. So we made it. Yeah, we go no matter what. This is our family.
You can be down here with everybody in blue. You can talk to anybody in blue. So you get to, you get to know Nashville as a city as a whole with your fellow, Cat teammates.
Oh, I love this team. I think they're going. I think they can win it. I think they can win it. Absolutely, absolutely.
I'm a true believer in Cal, and I love this team, and I think Toppin's going to take us to the promised land.
Mr. Mike Best from Louisville, Kentucky, give it up.
UK's going to show up bigger than Vandy will, and Vandy's here. So
there won't be any gold and black in the audience. It will be all blue and white.
Those fans that I spoke to say they're in it for the long haul. They came down here because they expect the Cats to make a deep run in the SEC tournament. Reporting from downtown Nashville, I'm Paxton Boyd, ABC 36 News.
Well, still ahead, Chris Bolton gives us an update on how the Cats are doing up against Vandy. And more evacuations as severe weather continues in California.